During the ongoing trial of Michael Correa, two key witnesses, Yaya MS Dabo, a military officer, and Aliu Job, a civilian, testified that Correa was among the notorious junglers who tortured them at the National Intelligence Agency. Dabo characterized the junglers as a brutal group, with Correa being the most aggressive of his alleged torturers. Photographs depicting Mile 2 Central Prison and images of victims suffering from melting plastic bones were shown to both victims, who recognized the images. This included images of the prison cells at Mile 2 and the bone injuries sustained by Dabo. The proceedings on Monday began with statements from both the federal prosecutors and the defense. Prosecutors claimed that Correa transported victims from Mile 2 prison to the NIA headquarters in Banjul, where he allegedly suffocated victims by placing plastic bags over their heads. Additionally, they alleged that Correa and other members of the junglers suspended one victim in a rice bag before beating him. The defense, represented by Jet Westbrook and Boston Stanton Jr., argued that Correa was a private soldier at the time and lacked the authority to command orders. They further contended that Correa could not have fled the country due to the harm former President Yahya Jammeh would have allegedly inflicted on his family. The defense also argued that Correa was powerless to act, citing the fate of dishonest junglers who were repeatedly killed. Both Dabo and Job recounted their harrowing experiences after being arrested in connection with the 2006 failed coup attempt. Job explained how he was detained, taken to the NIA, and interrogated about the coup, which he denied involvement in. He was then handed over to the junglers, who repeatedly tortured him. Job spent 9 years at Mile 2 prison and was eventually sentenced to 20 years. Dabo, who also faced arrest for his involvement in the coup attempt, recounted being taken to the NIA, where he denied participating in the coup during questioning. He too was subsequently handed over to the junglers for torture. Dabo stated that Bora Koli and Malik Jata were the only two members who did not participate in the abuse. He described the junglers as a ruthless group, with Michael Correa being the most violent of his torturers. Dabo spent 9 years in Mile 2 before his release in June 2015. On Monday, a federal judge dismissed one of the charges against Michael Correa after a key witness, Bunja Dabo, failed to appear in court. Prosecutors moved to withdraw count 5 related to the alleged torture of Army officer Bunja Dabo, explaining that Dabo could not testify due to his current deployment. Correa, a former member of the elite junglers unit, faces numerous charges related to torture, enforced disappearances, and extrajudicial killings committed during the 22-year rule of former President Yahya Jammeh. Several former junglers implicated Correa during their testimony before the Gambia's Truth, Reconciliation and Reparation Commission. Reporting for Kerfatu in Denver, Colorado, I am Buba Gajigo.